So the City of Windsor just received acknowledgement that we got an A for our leadership and the Global Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy. The Global Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy is basically an international group that looks at bringing all the municipalities across the globe together to actually report on their climate actions, both climate change mitigation and adaptation. And in the last 2 years, the actual reporting tool has been used to actually grade municipalities on their actions. And last year in 2018, we received an A-, and this year we were actually upped until an A, a full A for our leadership in climate change. I think this year a couple things happened is one, our 2012 plan for our climate change adaptation, we realized that it was kind of getting old and we need to refresh the data and the impacts. So in 2019, we actually started looking at the new climate change projections, the vulnerability and risks that are associated with those climate change projections, and basically trying to figure out what do we need to plan for. The other thing we did with this 2019 plan is we really brought in the community. We had a community task force with about 20 different organizations that actually started feeding in what is the community feeling? How is the community being impacted by either current climate, or how may they be impacted by future climate based on these projections? So that has all been brought into the adaptation plan that's being drafted right now. And on the mitigation side, which is where we reduce greenhouse gas emissions, we've actually started to basically monitor and report on our actions. And that's something, because our plan was only approved in 2017, this is kind of our first look at, okay, are we making headway? So I think those were the three things that kind of tipped us over into that A rating. The other piece of good news is that the City of Windsor was selected for the Showcase Cities project. That is basically through the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. They're partnering with ICLEI Canada, the International Urban Cooperation, and the Global Covenant of Mayors to bring together 25 cities across Canada that are seen as leaders in climate change. And the idea is to actually create a network to actually further our initiatives. And not only further it within the 25 municipalities, but how do we actually share this to the broader community across Canada? And they're using this kind of as a pilot to see if it's actually going to be useful to actually bring to other jurisdictions in the future. I think some of this news that all came out last week really looks at, and places kind of highlights Windsor as a leader on the climate change front. And we're already seeing that through invitations to various conferences to actually share our success stories. And municipalities have actually reached out and said they look forward to working with us in the future.